Monday, August the 14th, their fire exec committee meeting. I'm going to call this meeting to order here. Apologize, we're a little bit late here, running a little bit late, but it is recorded, so you should be able to put her in reverse and catch whatever you missed, but I don't think you missed anything because we're just starting the meeting. This meeting will be streamed live and recorded for public viewing on the town's YouTube page using the following link, www.youtube.com/@town-of-Plympton-Wyoming/streams. Applicants, proponents, and delegates must make a request to eflynn@plympton-wyoming.ca to receive instructions on how to attend a meeting virtually as a participant. Attendees will not be permitted into the meeting using any name but their given name, and will only permitted as an attendee for the agenda item that pertains to them. Attendees will be dismissed following the hearing of their item, but can view the remainder of the meeting via YouTube. Number 2 on the agenda there tonight, if anybody has a pecuniary interest or any kind of a conflict of interest, you can declare it now or anytime throughout the meeting. Number three on the agenda tonight was moved by Gary Atkinson, seconded by Kristen Rodriguez, that the minutes be adopted by the fire exec committee, and that those confidential minutes of the closed sessions of committee remain confidential and restricted from public disclosure in accordance with the exemptions provided in the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. Fire exec meeting 27th of June 2023. Close fire exec committee meeting June 27th, 2023. Special fire exec committee meeting July the 7th, 2023. Close special fire exec committee meeting July the 7th, 2023. Special fire exec committee meeting 14th of July 2023. And the closed special fire exec committee meeting at the 14th of July 2023. So anybody have is there any corrections or anything on there you have an issue with? If not, all in favor? Carry. Yeah. Okay. Item number 4 on the agenda tonight, business arising from the previous minutes. And we got 2 items under that. 4.1, restoration of the antique fire truck. Any comments?
You can take that one, Mr. Chair. So the truck has been over at Broadway Service for a month or 2 now. I can't remember exactly when it went over. About a month. So they have a list, kind of everything that we would be looking for to get it operational. Currently, they've put a new 6-volt battery in it to start their assessment on what is required to get it operational. The tires are fit for service. They've deemed that. It's just they've been busy in their shop, so it's not a priority job for them. It's kind of sitting there if they have hours available for one of the technicians to work on it. So that's kind of where it's at. They've replaced the battery and they're currently getting part numbers for the transmission, the motor to look up what they're going to need to be able to do to it.
Questions from Gary?
Through you, Mr. Chair, to DC Career. So with the preliminary assessment on it, do you think we'll be able to pay for it within our own budget, that we won't have to go out with much work?
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure at this time. Our initial request is for them to do an assessment and then provide a quote on what they foresee the cost to do the restoration on it. So as of right now, we don't have any further numbers than just getting a new battery so far to try and like to get it running and see what's all required. It's nothing more detailed than that right now.
Basically ongoing.
Yeah.
Question, you got anything?
Well, I guess just one, thank you. They kind of know, I know it's like whenever they can fit it in, do they anticipate being busy for the next couple of months?
It's hard to say. They kind of have this as a filler job as they have hours available at the shop to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no real timeline on it.
We haven't put any timeline on them either. so.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
kind of when they have a technician available to continue on.
So Chris, you mentioned serial numbers for the transmission and the motor. Is there issues with the motor and transmission that you know of?
Right now, no. It was running, I want to say the last time it ran 2019-ish, 2020. It didn't run well. It needed some ether to get it going. So yeah, it's not like it's seized or anything. It has been operational, just it's sat for a few years and definitely needs to be easier to start. So that's kind of what the main goal is, what we've passed to them is get it where it's turnkey and available for parades or ceremonies.
I'm talking to a couple of firefighters, sure if they're both ex or not. The Bain boys, they know the truck and they said that wasn't the original engine in that truck anyways.
Correct.
So they said if they had to change the engine, it's not like you're mucking with a numbers matching system. It's a replacement engine anyways, but yeah, they were quite excited that get her going. I think I don't know if anybody seen the Independent this week. Sarnia just restored their first fire truck. It's a big picture of it in the Independent newspaper. So I thought that was kind of neat. Now, it didn't say how much it cost, but it was a community fundraiser that paid for having that done over the last few years. And they totally painted it and everything else. So I'm not sure what you guys are gonna do with that one, but it sounds like you're.
Yeah, so as for the body work, it's in decent shape. So there's for paint and all that would be possibly a second or a third step down the road, but yeah, it's the main thing right now to get it operational and easy to run.
Who, if you don't mind me asking, who was in charge of it? Are you?
Brian for your.
Brian, good. Okay, yeah, he did certainly talk about it. So I think it's exciting and it's great to see somebody step up to the plate and start looking at it. I think we had about $6,700 in the kitty to help.
Like 6,600 and then another $6,600 grant.
Yeah.
67.
Okay, great. Okay, 4.2 legacy program. How are we making out there? Mr. Jordan, I was reading the past set of minutes. And it sounds like you said we're in pretty good shape and everything.
We're in pretty good shape. I haven't got a chance to work on it last month or so with interviews, everything else, but I'll get back on it now and got everything pretty well laid out. I'm gonna get everything all submitted that in September.
So should be nobody left behind, right? Pretty well everybody will meet the deadline.
Well, for the legacy, then we still have a couple of years to get people certified that
Yeah.
do not fit into the legacy program.
Okay. Anybody else got any questions on the legacy, Kristen?
I think last time we talked, there was about a handful left in the legacy.
Yeah.
And the deadline was September 30th,
Number 30, yeah.
but we're on track with that.
Okay. Number 5. We got their accounts, was moved by Kristen Rodriguez, seconded by Gary Atkinson. Fire committee receives and approves the payables for July 2023. Any questions on the accounts? Kristen.
Beat Gary out.
Okay.
One was on the overhead doors. I remember last time we had a repair on overhead door on our last payables as well. I think maybe 2 different stations.
There could have been, but there's also first time they came around, there was just PMs on the doors. And there was a couple rollers and a seal He placed at the Kamagi station. And so they came back and did that and fixed that all up for us.
So the last bill was for just the assessment or something, because it was like around $700 or $800.
That'd be for, right, that one both for both stations, that.
Servicing on all the doors.
Oh, so is there standard servicing on them?
Yeah, they come in, grease everything up. And
Oh. Okay. And then there's this odor thing. For $2,400. Sonia Plumbing,
there's,
so for $2,400.
probably no more, but I was there, but
So it is solved now. So there was a few different issues. One of them was a couple of wax seals in the toilets in the women's washroom were dried out, so those have been replaced. It took quite a bit of investigation to find where the leak was. They were using smoke bombs through the sewer system to figure out where it was leaking. They finally were able to track that down to a dried out condensate trap in one of the furnaces that was leaking backwards from the sewer. So that has resolved all odor issues in Wyoming Station now.
Well spent.
So yeah, it's definitely, it's,
yeah, and just bring you up to date, this has been an ongoing issue since 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
And
glad
we
you
keep
finally
working
got
on
that
it.
Resolved.
Yeah,
it's been,
hard to figure out this problem.
yeah, in the last, couple months now, since that's been repaired, there's been no odor issues in the hall.
That's good. You all done, Kristen?
Sorry, I just. So I just want to check here. Yes. The water. Sorry. A skid of water.
Yeah.
So do you guys like use water bottles? Like,
For us, that it's to hydrate on fire calls, everything else.
okay, that's what my
Yeah.
question is gonna
Yeah.
be. I was just thinking, is there a way to be more? Less plastic bottle.
Not really with for our system with that.
Yeah,
You can't have water sitting around in a jug that for weeks on end without a call or anything else, and
yeah.
then we get called out and that we got stale water potentially contaminated and everything else, so. Yeah. We throw them on the fire when we're done. I'm just kidding, just kidding.
Hey, that's a whole new way of recycling. All right, well, that would be it for me.
Anything else on your list there,
No, that's it.
Mr. Gary?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I did have a question about the odor, but I think that's already been answered, and that's good news that we don't have that issue anymore. Rodent control, I know we do it monthly. Are we finding many little critters, or is it something that is it routine? Could we cut it back to every other month, or do we have a contract? Just inquiring what that is, guys.
We could probably cut back in Kamaki. And I don't think there's a real issue there. There is a pig issue in the Wyoming station with the feed mill right beside there.
People like to come and visit.
Yeah.
But just a thought, can we save money or?
Yeah, believe the last time the Orkin tech was there, I didn't talk to him, but one of the other firefighters did, and he does see activity, like the bait's being consumed every month when he checks in.
So it's
working, but we are seeing them obviously from next door.
It's just something to think about if we could save some money one way or the other to consider.
Next time I can see them, like I was asking them about possibility of going to like their schedule and that. Especially even just at the Kalaki station, because I know there's not a big issue there. So.
The other thing I see diesel, we bought some diesel from Mackenzie on London Line Convenience. Do we not use? Don't we have tanks at the works department that we can utilize for that? Was this a special occasion that we did that, or? Okay, I believe we are buying our diesel from Mackenzie's now.
Yeah.
That bill in there, was that the one that like a monthly fill up that we got charged for?
Mine diesel. Oh, gas. Yeah, for the pickup. It's gotta be gas for the pickup, so it's the only thing we get there, so.
Okay, it'd be the gas instead of the diesel?
Yeah.
Okay. And Yeah, because you get your gas all at London Line.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one you had the 5 bills on one page, right? Yeah, that was all pickups.
Oh, okay. A lot of that from the fire on Confed too.
That's
Much of that utilized at the fire on Confed. Or it's just regular fill up sign.
regular fill up on the pickup trucks.
Okay. All right. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
And just add that, I think that's the first time in 2 months. I remember getting a bill in June from Petrocan, so. The trucks are definitely used quite a bit, but that, and there's usually a fill up a month or so, half a month.
Right.
Okay, have a question on Bell Mobility. What does Bell Mobility after hours mean?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's actually, this here is for both June and July, but up top it talks about Bell Mobility after hours. Both, obviously, Wyoming and Kamalaki.
This in the.
Yeah, do we pay a fee for, is there an answering service or anything after hours?
I'm not too sure because I don't even see the bills, so they get coded and paid right away, so.
If I remember correctly, in the last meeting, I asked this question. And you guys had stated you could pay for your phones after hours or something. To that effect.
So Chris and I, there's another line item for that, we get paid $30 a month
Yeah,
for our own personal phones.
yeah.
Later, but
Is this
that's not,
different?
that's got nothing to do with Bell Mobility.
Oh,
Right.
because I've seen it before on our previous payable.
You pull a copy of those bills out for me sometime this week and I'll take a look at them.
I get them when they're already paid and coded,
Yeah.
so I can talk with finance and see what they are and if we need to keep paying them on what phones they're linked to, I guess.
Yeah, we just need to figure out where that phone is linked.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it might be road, but
Yeah, Bell Mobility,
it
Wyoming,
might be roads.
Wyoming Mobile. But the one is the first, one, they're after hours, Bell Mobility after hours. It could be the Rover, I don't. I'm just curious, no questions on any other. Yep, that's all I have on that item. Anybody else have anything else? Okay. All in favor then of receiving the table? Opposed? Suppose that's that or what? There. Okay. Okay, item number 6, we don't have any staff reports tonight, bylaws, we don't have any bylaws. Correspondence, have any correspondence? Other than that nice fire truck in the Independent from Sarnia, that's a nice picture. Okay, item number 9.1. Moved by Gary Atkinson, seconded by Christian Rodriguez. Correspondence item relating to joint health and safety minutes. Wyoming Station from June the 28th, 2023. Be received by the Fire Exec Committee and be filed accordingly. Everybody had an opportunity to read the joint health and safety minutes from Wyoming Station. Any questions? Kristen?
This would just be the first time for me seeing one. So I wouldn't know what your previous ones look like. When you guys used to.
You got a question, Gary?
Mr. Chair, if Ms. Rodriguez is finished.
I just was making a comment.
You have any questions off of these minutes? No, just this one?
Yeah, the minutes. I've never seen them before. You're talking about the joint health and safety.
Yeah, these are most recent.
I don't think they've ever been presented.
Yeah, but these are
That's what my point is.
Once have been attached.
I've never seen these before since I've been here. So I wouldn't know what you're comparing against.
Okay, have you have any questions on here, Gary?
I do, if I may, Mr. Chair, through you to DC Freer. Under number 4, outstanding business training, currently all certificates have expired for Joint Health and Safety Committee. Is that a accurate comment? Like, cause
That is,
process of recertifying, Chris, or what is?
so yeah, we have both the, I guess it'd be the worker reps and the managing rep to, is it the step or the phase 1, the level 1 certification for the Joint Health Safety Committee. So those are overdue now. Just haven't had them kept up through COVID. So that is something we are looking into to get the certification redone for those 2 individuals.
Do you feel that will be done in the next few months, Chris?
Yeah, we're looking into it to get them whatever course fits in with their work schedule to be able to take.
And this next line, it says members will need to update training once employer selects timing. Is that related to that, or is that something?
That would have been left with us to be able to get the course lined up, or what a course availability to see when they can take the training.
All related in there, okay.
I guess a correction on the next one, the 4.2, the under construction at 70%, that wasn't updated from the previous minutes, so I would say we're at 90-95%. The remaining stuff is trim and the stair nosing, so everything shower wise is operational to be able to use them, and they are frequently used.
If I may,
Yes,
going back to 4.1, the training. What training is that?
So it's the joint health, or
Just the certification for
Yeah.
the rep?
that's correct, yeah.
Okay. So those are like online, through human resources.
They're not online courses.
You can do them online.
You got that now?
Yep.
Okay.
I
They just got it.
Yeah.
They were certified 3 years ago, and it was an online class, but it wasn't an online course, so.
Yeah, no, my whole entire thing was on.
Okay, good. I'm gonna do mine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, right.
very convenient.
Yeah, okay. It's not like the government to do that.
okay.
Sorry, okay.
Anything else, Kristen?
Although Gary was still asking, I believe.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. If we go to 4.3, guys, I'm a little concerned about the plugs, electrical boxes and plugs over, near the water. Have you guys looked at moving them yet?
So yes, that's been passed on to Al. To get one of the contractors in that the town uses to be able to get the washer and dryer moved over, and the right plugs in place.
Did he give you any indication when that would be completed?
No, when I said he was on vacation, so I can follow up again and see.
Yeah, I might suggest that if you guys, that's kind of an important thing. We wouldn't want to have any issues there. Thank you.
Is it Gary?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, nothing else there, Kristen, on there? You want to know?
Yes, please.
Pardon?
Yes, yes, I would like to ask.
Sure, go ahead, ask away.
These SOG/O policy and procedure changes, review, discussion occurred of these numbers. I don't know what it means. So in the master plan, they talked about instead of saying SOGs, standard operating guidelines, switch to standard operating procedures to be more effective. Come up. Is that something that you guys will look at on your health and safety
I
committee?
believe it would be the health and safety committee that would be looking at those. It would be the OG committee, operating guideline.
Okay,
That would be looking at those. These are just a handful that we reviewed during the meeting to just ensure that they were current and covered everything.
okay. So that's something maybe, I don't know, are you guys on there?
Yeah, by default of being designees, we are. But as far as going from operating guidelines to operating procedures, that, when we started getting in this back, that. In 1900s, 1990s and everything else, 1900s, when I first started.
Oh, you've been here a long time.
There were standard operating procedures. And we were directed more so through the fire marshal's office to go to guidelines. The procedure that you must follow, a guideline is a guideline,
Right.
is what you should do. So it kind of gives a gray area that in there, that this is what we expect and everything else that your procedures is, this is what you will do. If you ever went to a court case or anything else, then we're held to it, that they're straight to the letter. So,
And I understand
Yeah.
that sometimes in real life,
Yeah.
things can't play out the way the
Right.
procedure said.
right,
So I get that.
yeah.
So I'm just wondering why it was recommended then.
Yeah, I don't know. But again, we don't have to do everything that's in the fire manual.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah,
There's 46 of them.
Yeah.
I've only talked about maybe 10.
yeah.
That's it, Kristen?
I think so.
Think so, or?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just looking, sorry. So it also talks about the monthly inspection of the building. The WFD building. And of course, this is just for Wyoming. These are just Wyomings. We don't have Cam Lackey's.
Number young, Kristen?
Oh, I'm sorry, 5.
Okay.
So are there, well, I guess they're fire trucks, so they get routine inspections all the time, correct? Daily one.
There's monthly platoon checks. And then after every time we have a call or the truck is out, we get a servo check to return it back to service. Yep.
Okay. Number 5 there, the parking curbs around the building, have they been put back into place, do you know?
I haven't, to be honest, I haven't looked if they've been pulled back. That was all. Send out. That's all.
No,
Yeah. Yeah, the caulking that was all in there, just a bunch of kind of maintenance items, to work throughout the station.
and obviously 5.3 is done now, the smell.
So that was rectified after the last meeting. Mid-July when the problems were all sorted out.
Okay, the only other comment I'm gonna make is that joint health and safety committees are mandated by the government. So we need to make sure that we keep these up to speed, because if anything happens whatsoever, and they'll be, ministry would be in here, and that's the first thing they're gonna ask you for is your joint health and safety rep. You guys know this, I don't have to, so I would like to see you put a priority on that to get things moving on these, the certification and you have to get new people, don't you, for Cam Lackey?
Yeah.
So I would just highly recommend we move that along as a top priority here. So like I say, I've been involved over the years with those guys, and when they come in, that's who they ask for right away, so. Okay,
Don,
yes,
to expand on that. Excuse me. So under the joint safety guideline, you have to meet monthly or?
Quarterly.
And then, so when was the last time?
We're a little lax in Kamaki, so we're gonna try and arrange one for the end of this month, so.
And then you wanted those reports to come back to us.
yeah, the health and safety committee minutes need to be attached. That's why we only get them 4 times a year, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that also they schedule different classes in different communities, live classes, so some people don't want to do it online.
Yeah.
I think there've been some in Sarnia, London. You guys probably know better than I do, so anyways. Okay, anything else on the joint health and safety? Okay. That was moved by Gary Atkinson, second by Christian Rodriguez, at the correspondence item relating to joint health and safety safety minutes, Wyoming Station from June the 28th, 2023, be received in the fire exec committee and filed accordingly. All in favor? Gary, thank you. Okay, we're down to number 10. Business. Kristen,
Yes.
new business.
Nothing.
Nothing tonight? Not that you can think of yet. Okay, we got time. Gary, any new business?
Couple items, Mr. Chair. First of all, I'd like to ask that we ensure that our working document returns to our minutes and our monthly meeting minutes. Was asked for by the firefighters, so we want to ensure that it's there every month, whether there's any issues or not. I think it's prudent that we have it out there, that it's available for them to deal with. So maybe ask Ms. Flynn to ensure that that's on our next month's agenda, please. The agriculture in the classroom that's coming up, is the trailer available for that, Chris?
It's been booked. Yeah.
You got some people on board?
I haven't reached out yet, but we should be able to get some firefighters available.
And you guys are available for the fair too? Good. That's all I have that's not on 10-1 or 10-2, Mr. Chair. I'll leave that for you.
Okay. Pardon me?
May I ask a question? In relation to what Gary said, agriculture in the classroom?
Right. There's agriculture in the classroom that's put on through the fair board, but they bring in like, I think this year there's 350 students that are like grades 1 till 4 or 5, somewhere in there. They come in for a day and they move around to different commodity groups where they get basically like a 15-minute, 20-minute presentation, and then they move along. It's all orchestrated and organized, and then we bring in the fire trailer. And the firemen are there showing them extinguishers and then the smoke, how they go through that trailer for that.
So we're incorporating some fire education with.
Yeah,
the
fire
agriculture in the
department.
classroom. That's what I was just trying to combine the two there. Thank you.
Anything else, ma'am?
No,
10.1, recruitment. How are we going with recruitment out there in Kamalachi?
Because of, we're just starting right now, really, that our Plympton County training and everything else for the recruits, that starts in the end of October. And so there's no sense having people that they're basically getting advanced training before they got basic training and everything else. So I like to bring them in starting the 1st September type of thing and get them out there. So I'll be going through Ms. Flynn there to see what applications we got on file and that a little while and then for interviews and everything else and see what we get.
Yeah, I was just going by the past minutes when you said you're gonna do it in August. And I think we're already halfway through August. So do you have a pretty good list from the last time, Chief?
I think we pretty well took everybody we wanted, so last time.
So you're gonna have to re-post it or re-advertise?
So it's always online and that. And we got a couple postings on there for sure. That's probably a few more, so
How about Wyoming, how many we short in Kamalachi, Scott?
5.
5 in Wyoming?
We're full right now.
Oh, good, okay. Okay. So all I have on that. Kristen, anything else? I'm trying to get that list, Elliot.
no, I think I'm good.
Good for now, okay, that's all right, you can still, Gary, anything else?
No, it's just waiting for 10-2, Mr. Chair. I have nothing else.
Now 10.2 on there, the service awards for volunteer firefighters. No, I'm not sure, Gary and Ella, do you want to say anything about that? Ella, you made a comment to me earlier about what you're doing for service or for awards and stuff?
Last year we got caught up on, years previous for service awards, so I've, gone and looked for this specific year, and we do have a few firefighters to recognize, so, they'll be getting packages sent out so they can pick their, recognition item, and then at our, Christmas party this year, they'll be recognized along with, staff.
You know, the awards are what, 5-year, 10-year, 20,
Yeah, 5-year increments.
10 and 20? And then is there other awards comes from the fire marshal's office for service or anything?
That 20 for the provincial and 25. Or 20 for federal, 25 provincial. And then. I think 30, 35, 40, that. They're. Yeah.
That comes from the
Yeah,
Prime Minister,
But that,
that comes from the Prime Minister?
I hope not. No, that's provincial. So the federal, you get 20 years and that's it. They're done with it. So. And we got nobody approaching 35 or anything. Couple over 25 and everything, but that the stuff's in the works with the OFM's office.
So do we recognize the 5-year increments plus provincial and federal? Is that correct?
Yeah, the town is recognizing the years of service, that for all employees at 5, 10.
Yeah.
And then there's also just a birds on the night, but they usually have the bars up here. That's the recognition that.
Provincial long
Yeah.
service award.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, provincial only starts at 25, so.
So, Ella, I think you mentioned to me that you've now got a spreadsheet that's gonna keep track of
All the
title each year.
Yeah.
So we won't have to guess, and when people are changing hands,
Yeah.
did that person do it?
I gave her a printout there last week of the. On Fire Pro. All the starting dates and everything else, so. From me to the last hire, so
That's for both stations, chief.
that's for everybody all together, so.
So, Ella, you made a statement, said we're basically all caught up with
Mhm.
awards up
past
until,
years. I think there's around 5
I think there was.
this year.
awesome.
Moving forward, we'll do it on an annual basis instead of, the past 4 or 5 years that we kind of all did last year.
So that's all gonna be done at the one event.
Correct.
Okay, good. Okay. Have you ever gave a recognition in between 5 or 10 years? No, so nothing. How about if people move away, resign and say they've been here for 3 years? Any recognition or anything for anything
Just kind of a thank you and.
from the chief?
Yeah.
And how is that? Presented in a letter? Thank you for your service and we wish you well and.
In the past, I never usually had a little get together at our fire hall and.
Usually it's last. They're moving away here, kind of when their last training night is that they would be, we would have a bit of a. Yeah, small celebration. too.
Nice.
It's kind of an in-house.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing that I have here to do with dispatch in Sarnia. Are we on Sarnia dispatch now?
No, that, I heard that we're not scheduled that till sometime in September and I was at the fire chiefs meeting on last Wednesday. I heard that. We might delay that a bit. They're still working, some bugs out with St. Clair and North and Lake Shores. That there's some mapping issues that I think the biggest issue is that not the best communications between the municipalities and the Sarnia Police Service Board's communication system. So listening to the few complaints I heard is just that you guys aren't working together too well.
Okay, that was some of the questions that I had received an email. Asking some of those questions, like, is there a plan, like, for an example, CAD drawing for roads and fire hydrants. Other requirements requested by the dispatch center in Sarnia. Is there a planned update timing for dispatch requests? Sounds like you just said it, you're working away at the planning stages of it.
And they
Um,
I haven't done too much, just this morning, Ellen, I got the signed copy back from the city of Sarnia for the agreement and everything else for the dispatch, so.
So the plan is being implemented and planning and so on and so forth. So then there will be a documented plan with each municipality in the end. Is that how it's?
Well, the bylaw that was not approved here, and everything else back a couple months ago. That's what was signed and everything else, so.
And on this same email, there was a comment made that they couldn't find anything in the fire board minutes or the council minutes that talked anything about this new dispatch system, but I recall, well, I know we talked about it here in depth. I know we presented it to the council. What was gonna go on, Ella?
I think that might be because we didn't approve June's minutes until tonight. And I believe we talked about that in June. So the minutes wouldn't have gone out public until they were on today's agenda. So
Before June.
Yeah, we talked about before.
I don't feel like it
Well,
without,
then maybe
in council.
the first of June there. I don't,
Yeah,
that's what we talked about, the extra 10,000 and
probably.
whatever, we need 18,000 we need.
I know we talked about it and I had. Didn't got the email. I didn't go back and look at past minutes, but I know. Chief Thompson talked about it. Mind you, at that time, they're just getting into the discussion.
I had to request 18,000 or I forget what the money was, but
Yeah,
for the substantial part of the getting the extra channels and the equipment and everything else that we needed.
and between the two dispatch, it was all kind of a cost neutral situation.
Yeah,
It wasn't gonna cost us a whole lot more.
and it's gonna cost a little more per year. But if we would have got CAC even to agree to do what Sarnia's saying they could do, then their cost would have rose to meet that challenge. So.
Yes, I recall talking about all that at council.
I presented it to him.
We okayed it up, council. You all signed off.
So we'll be catching that in these minutes too, so, okay. I don't have anything else, No. Part of your SOG committee and that is, are they still active or what's going on?
I heard that through the summer, it's just hard to try and get meetings going, so.
So you'll reinstate that. in the fall.
Yeah, going in the fall again. Good job for the new chief.
I knew that was coming.
Don't rely on his DCs.
Okay,
He's taking a vacation for 6 months.
Ella?
yeah, I was going to bring up the 2024 budget. So this year, all of the budgets are due to our treasurer on November the 10th. So we only have one meeting between now and then. So I was going to see if the committee would like to schedule an additional meeting in September. Hear the first round of the draft budget, and then if any changes are needed, we'll bring it back in October.
We won't have a draft budget for September. We won't have a new chief until September to start with, so,
Or October or November.
yeah,
We don't know, but
yeah.
they want us to get something going anyways.
We need something.
It's just a rough, right?
There's-
So
The information,
What's the cost of living add to my budget?
we'll let Norm.
Total.
we'll be on the same page. It's fine.
Yeah,
We're just trying to get it out there that people
Yeah.
need to next month start thinking about that they need to work on their budgets.
Yeah.
When I first came on, I think it was my first meeting, we were doing budgets, and that wasn't until December.
So. The big budget will go to you in December, but the committee meetings. They should start with sometime in September, October.
So the fire exec, we were discussing the budget in December.
Yes, you were delayed.
Here was an issue.
Okay.
That was different.
That's what I'm trying to understand here. Does it not normally come to us in December?
It usually is finalized in November. at your committee level,
Mhm.
and then it comes to me to make the big budget.
It was a little delay.
I understand that. I'm just. What I get frustrated with the budgets in general is the fact that we're not. Including payables. So we can get a better, clearer understanding of our budgets. A lot of things can be back-ended in November and December, and we're already talking budgets in 2024 without having a clear picture. of the real time. I find it very frustrating not to have some sort of an approximate number, or, do you know what I mean? Is there any way we can kind of try to get something
We
there?
are working on trying to get our new system.
Oh, you got a new system?
Well,
That's exciting.
our Tech has moved over to the cloud system and everything's just not quite working yet, but
Kind of cloudy.
yeah, it's a lot. Anyway, we're working on that.
So do we want to schedule a meeting for September the 18th then and have some kind of a mini draft or whatever, so we can talk about the things that you want to talk about? And in an October meeting, we will. Should be done. Well, has to be done.
It depends if we can have a draft brought by then, it's worth doing, but if we can't have a draft budget ready for September, I think it would end up being a bit of a waste.
But we know who's going to do the budget this time.
Okay, so
The two of them. Because I mean, the
Out east.
new chief may not, who knows? You know, so will we go ahead then and Norma and is it doable for the 18th?
Of September,
Something here for a draft?
that's like 3 weeks away.
5 weeks away. That's the third week in September. This is only,
Month away.
yeah, a month and a half away.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you have to get costs for, so
Yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah.
that portion of it.
I'll try, but I won't get any promises.
what's your thoughts on that? For your station?
It's one budget, so.
Yeah, it's one I rely heavily on Scott, his knowledge and expertise.
And you have plans for the next?
Well, let's
I do.
schedule.
I think Scott probably needs the time in September to work on it and bring it to fire in October.
Is the other option is we could move November's meeting earlier in the month. So that way we would have any amendments made before November the 10th. We'll stick to have budget ready for October's meeting and then move that one in November
You-
sooner. So long as change.
I know that you're working on it,
So when is our next meeting?
October it's on my calendar there.
October 16th is the next scheduled meeting, and then November 20th would be the one after.
So why don't we do 2 in October?
Well, we can do, that's what I'm trying to establish here when they're
Instead
gonna,
of 2 in September, do 2 in October. So that we can try and it's November 10th.
well, I will call a special meeting for it. So leave it up to you guys. Forget September then. So we'll call a special meeting in October just for the budget. Then we'll have our regular meeting, keep it the same. That's when you want it anyways, right?
Yep.
That'll, yeah. So we'll
We'll
stay on top of it if I hear anything different. we'll Change or cancel.
Yes.
Okay, so we won't even schedule anything for October. Ellen, I'll do that once we see how far along you are. We'll kind of keep track of you.
Lucky you.
I go miss this one, damn it.
No. Okay, anything else for the open? Okay, so do we get? Okay, let me see here. Close it. Okay, we're going to be moving into a closed meeting here for a short period of time. That was moved by Christian Rodriguez and seconded by Gary Atkinson. The committee moved into an in-camera meeting pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended for the following reasons. Item A, personnel matters, section 239 2B. Personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. All